Awesome. Tyler, you want to get us into some elf shenanigans?
Yeah, let's do it. Frieren, episode 11, Winter in the Northern Lands. Frieren and her team have beaten Aura and her minions and are praised by Graf and all the townspeople. Then they stumble across an unlikely new friend. And basically, this episode starts with the sun rising and Frieren praying over Aura's defeated army. And we haven't really seen a lot of Frieren showing like religious aspects of her life. Do you think that she's kind of religious and just been hiding it?
I don't think so, but I definitely caught me off. That's why it caught me off guard that she was like praying over these like I guess I'm gonna call them fallen soldiers, because these were once people that Aura took over. But I don't know if she picked that up from somebody else that was in her original hero group. Yeah, I just did not take her for the religious type at all.
Yeah, and it could even just be like saying goodbye to fallen soldiers or something. And like, I don't know. I just don't see her as the praying type. I mean, she's lived for 1,000 years. She's probably seen the rise of multiple religions. Like,
That's kind of crazy to think.
yeah, like, I mean, shit, man. How many religions are going to come up in 1,000 years? You know,
There's gonna be a few.
they're going to be worshiping all sorts of shit: trees, the sun, the moon, God. I don't know. So yeah, I'm sure she's seen some shit.
You know, I think this is kind of showing that she's changed a little bit over what we've seen her. It's like character development. Because I don't think she would have done this, before she met like Fern and them. Um, Even like during the heroes party, she wouldn't have done it. So she's grown a lot to come this far to like pay her respects or pray or whatever she was doing over them fallen soldiers. So
True. And during this scene, Frieren kind of revealed to her team, Stark and Fern, that she quit using flashy spells due to Himmel getting mad. And Stark said he would have been pretty mad too about it if she would have done that. Do you guys kind of understand why he would have been so angry?
I think Himmel was the kind of guy who liked the spotlight. And Frieren out there shooting lightning bolts and shit would probably piss him off. Like he kind of had that attitude, like he's the leader, I'm number one. But Frieren's really the one out there sweeping everything up and doing the damage.
That's fair.
But seriously, I think it's because maybe they had a conversation about what Flame had said to her about like staying hidden until you defeat the Demon King. And maybe he didn't want her using like crazy ass magic because that would draw attention to her. But at this point, the Demon King is dead, or so we think. So like, let it rain lightning, Frieren. We want to see some shit. Come on, let's do it.
I'm trying to see Frieren on demon timing. You
That's
know what I'm saying,
bro? Like, let's see some shit.
yeah, then we get into Graf. He actually granted Frieren's wish to have the Grimoire of Flame, which is fake because everything that we've seen about all the grimoires that's left in history has been fake. But she says it's her hobby to collect them. Do you think that's actually the real reason she's collecting all the fake, stuff of Flame?
So first off, I just want to really appreciate how me and Bass were talking about raining lightning bolts of hell. And Tyler just shook his head and said, I'm not dealing with this right now. And moved on to the next topic. He was like, I don't got time for this, boys.
You ain't slick. We saw that shit.
But no, so my reasoning for Frieren wanting all of Flame's grimoires is that she doesn't want her master's legacy to be tainted by a bunch of frauds. So she's collecting them books ups to protect the good name of Sensei Flame, dude.
Dude, I thought the same exact thing.
Yeah.
She calls it a hobby, but she's like, yeah, this is bullshit. Like, let me collect these motherfuckers and burn them.
I mean, her name is Flame, dude. That's flame.
Facts.
Is it really though? Like, I wonder what it actually is. It's
It's
interesting.
flame with an extra M, dude.
Did y'all know? Did y'all know? I just learned this the other day, but Frieren is actually like a German word that means freezing or cold.
Yeah,
And
'cause
that
she's an icy hearted bitch.
And
that
and
is
Love
funny.
her.
Flamen is flame in German.
So this is wild because they're actually using like German language to like that really fits Frieren, you know. She's like cold, she's her personality is like very
It is
cold.
cold.
So
Yeah.
Frigid.
but I enjoy that. I just learned that not too long ago, a couple days ago.
Wow, man. People in literature using other languages to name their people is a tale as old as time, dude. Come on, Tyler. Read a book.
Yeah, but we didn't know that. We just learned that Sase no Frieren meant Frieren the Slayer, kind of. So it's just interesting. So
To be the devil's advocate here is I did know Flame was flame though.
Did you just come back from Germany or something, bro?
Yeah.
I have never been to Germany, and that one was pretty easy to take a stab at.
You never know, my man. I'm not a German expert, so
We'll let it slide this time.
but yeah, I guess we get on to our heroes are now helping rebuild the castle, and they all get a warm welcome by the townspeople. And at the end of this montage, we see the funeral of Aura's army with respects being paid to all the fallen soldiers. And did y'all get a little bit like sad by this, seeing this graph and all of them?
No.
No.
It was somber, but I can't say I was sad. Also, I was getting mad Nelson Mandela vibes from Frieren here. She was just locked up. Now she's being praised by the people. You know what I'm saying? As a hero. So shout out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to shake my head and let's go to the next topic.
Okay. The central, we learned that mages must be registered, and Frieren actually isn't apparently. So they got to get Frieren registered now because they learned that they can't really advance very far north without having a first class mage with them. And we also learned that Fern is a third class mage, so obviously she can't be the one that kind of holds the responsibility of protecting the group or whatever. But it's funny that Frieren has a I don't know, like a necklace or like
An antique is what they called it.
yeah, something showing that she was a first class mage at one point in time. We don't know how long ago, really. So that was a pretty funny moment. Do y'all think that Frieren's gonna be? What do you think she's gonna be classified as?
I think they're gonna play her. I think that the Magic Association is gonna play her ass and put her in second class.
I'm
Think so?
I'm really hoping for like a One Punch Man-esque thing here where like the pupil is much higher rated than the master, because I think that'd be so funny. But what I think is going to happen is there's going to be this old crusty fart wizard mage guy, and she's going to pull out that amulet and he's going to be like, we haven't had those for 700 years. You're
There's no
God.
way.
And then they're just going to go. I mean, like, I feel like
Okay.
if you walk into a town and you just point at the statue and say, dog, that's me, like, who's going to stop you?
Yo,
Dog, that's me right there. I'm in stone. Who are you?
legit? Question mark?
Yeah, like, bro, I'm immortalized in brass right here. Like, you got the gall to talk to me? Check yourself.
No, I really hope they do try to play her though. That would be hilarious.
It'd be so funny.
My favorite part of like this whole part, like where they're talking about her not being certified as a mage anymore, is that she's like, I don't really care because they're always changing their fucking rules every couple hundred years. And to most beings, that's a few lifetimes, several for some.
I thought it was funny. Oh, go for it.
And I was just getting like, I don't know if you guys know any like craftsmen or like I guess like construction people, older construction people. and they're always like, fuck the code, building code. Like I've been doing it this way for 30 years, and it just gave me like the same vibes, man.
I just loved it when Stark was like, even I know about the Magical Council, whatever their name is. Like, they've been doing this for 50 years. And I'm just sitting there in my head, I'm like, that's like 2 weeks for Frieren. Like,
Yeah, that's like a trip to the bathroom and back. Like, what?
It's bad in the eye. Like, I can't blame her for not wanting to keep up with that shit. Fuck paperwork.
Yeah, I don't like bureaucracy. Go, sorry.
50 years, that's like
a 20th of her lifetime.
Passed since him was been dead, right? At least.
Yeah, that's a 20th of her lifetime. Like, that's like me being 1.5 to 30. Like, it's ridiculous,
Yeah. But then we move on to the next bit of this episode, and we actually get going into snow. They get so far north, I guess, it's starting to snow, and they kind of get lost and a little bit, and because of the storm, and Stark ends up passing out, which is kind of surprising. I thought he was tougher, like, I guess, body. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see him passing out first, just because of the cold. But they were saying that it's too windy to carry Stark by magic. Did this kind of surprise you that the magic is kind of limited in this way?
Yeah, 100%. Like, isn't Frieren supposed to be like that bitch? Like, and it gets a little too gusty for her to like levitate. That's wild.
But Frieren ain't gonna be doing this. This is on Fern. This is second tier mage work right here.
Okay.
And I just wish they tried to pick him up, because I just want to see like Stark's lifeless body just flapping in the wind, because that would have been so funny.
That's what I thought we were about to get.
It would have been so funny, dude.
Yeah, I'm with Dan on this. I think the Frieren could have done it, but she's not gonna do it. She's like, this work is beneath me, bro. I'm a hero.
You see those bronze statues? I don't carry weak men.
Oof.
I think we even get a scene like while they're going and Fern's just like, he's heavy. He's heavier than I thought he would be, and it was something like that. And Frieren's just like, you can do it, or gun beret, or something like that. It was funny. I laughed.
Hit the weights, Fern.
But then we get into something interesting. The gang actually stumbles onto a cabin that's like a safe house or whatever for situations like this that Frieren knows about. And they actually find another elf. Shout out Dan. I think he called this last episode. So his name is Kraft the Monk. And he says it's been 300 years since he's seen another elf. Both Kraft and Frieren had thought all the elves died, kind of like I did. So, it's interesting to see another elf. But seriously, though, I think those might be two of the last ones, though.
Nah, we're gonna meet more elves.
You think so?
You can't talk about it as much as they have, and just have this squatting dude be like the best elf we meet. Like, we gotta meet a badass elf, preferably a bad elf. I think would be great, like a rival.
That'd be cool as fuck. I think they're gonna like stumble into a whole town of elves at some point. It's just been like hiding somewhere because they just say it too much. Like Dan's saying, like the beginning of this season, they were like, yeah. Frieren was like, yeah, elves, we have a problem like keeping our population up because we don't like to procreate. We really don't be going out of our way to do that shit, which is sad. I hate that for them. But and now we found one more. I think there's gonna be some more. But I was surprised that Kraft and Frieren both thought that the elves had died out and they were the last ones.
You know what I was kind of surprised at was the fact that Kraft wasn't a magic user like I figured elves would be. He was just ripped as fuck.
I like to think he has some ability to use magic. I mean, I'm just like being like honest about it, because like he's old as fuck. Like he ain't have a couple hundred years just to like fuck around somewhere doing something.
That's why he's so chiseled. He's been squatting like that for 500 years, bro.
Well, he was squatting like that to stay alive, bro. To
Bro,
stay warm.
that man was yoked. Don't even joke.
Tyler, that was an excuse. He does that shit for fun.
But going off of what Bass said, as far as magical, you think if he would had any kind of magical ability at all, he would have been able to start a fire for himself, though. That's very basic magic. I feel like so.
That's fair. That's fair.
You figure he could have rubbed two sticks together, those massive pecs, and got a fire going too, right?
How many years is he alive? Come on now, you don't know how to start a fire, bro?
Yeah, that's weak as hell. Actually, I didn't really think about that.
But the party. I was gonna move on, but the party is forced to stay at the cabin for 6 more months. We see this often. Them staying at longer at places, and they're surviving on craft supplies. But as the heroes get ready to leave during the spring, after it clears up, they give Craft gives Frieren a pendant for Fern. Then they kind of talk about the religion, the goddesses of creation. Frieren doesn't really believe in her because she hasn't shown herself before in all her years being alive. But Kraft, on the other hand, is a very strong believer since he's older and everyone who knows of him has kind of died. So he's kind of, I guess, forgotten in a way. Were you kind of surprised to hear Kraft say Frieren is much younger than him? And do you think that's true? And how much younger do you think it actually is?
This is where I'm getting a little confused about how long these goddamn elves live. Because
5,000 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. Yeah, 5, 6. Because him to say Frieren is much younger, that's at least 1,000 right there. Because the elves think 100, 200 years is nothing. 300 years is nothing. So if they were that close, he would be like, "Oh, you're the same age as me." So yeah, I think Frieren says she's over 1,000 years old. We'll call it 1,200. He's probably at least 2,000 years old.
So I want to touch on something we skipped really quick because I've been shipping Fern and Stark this entire time.
Okay.
And I think Stark might swing the other way because he wakes up cuddled against Kraft the monk, and Kraft is shirtless, warming him up with his body heat. And he looks over and just slowly closes his eyes again and then goes, "Wait, I gotta act macho here. Who the hell is this?"
What the fuck?
And then there's another thing. He's like, "Damn, bro, you got a good body." And I'm like, "Okay, Stark, what you got going on here, buddy?"
I think he was just trying to appreciate the work this man had done on his chiseled abs. Tumblr
is gonna have a field day with that one. Don't worry about it.
Oof.
Tyler can update us.
I don't know about y'all, but if I'm waking up in a random place in a bed with a man that looks like that, I'm gonna compliment him too, because I'm probably fearing for my life at that moment.
Damn, bro, you built, dog.
Hey, look at these washboard abs.
I'm scared right now. Let's compliment this man, and maybe I can get out of my life. Maybe figure out the situation.
That is not where my head would go. I would panic.
That's where you would die.
I mean, he did panic. He just had to wake up first, Yeah. He had been passed out for a while. I'm gonna give him a pass on this one.
Yeah, it was so funny though. I was like, how do we skip over that scene? It was so funny.
He hit him with a double take, bro. I love it. I was laughing so much.
All right, but now we're back to God, right?
Yeah, God.
Yeah.
So, this whole thing, and it's funny because Kraft kind of talked about why he's devout to the goddess, and Tyler kind of briefly mentioned it, but it's because everybody who has known his great feats, whatever the hell those are, is long forgotten. So his faith is the fact that God is always watching over him, or the goddess, and that when he ends up with those pearly gates, she's like, "Damn, bro, you did good." Dab him up, and that's all he's looking for, man. I was like, I kind of respect that.
Yeah, that's fair, and I'm sure he wants all the people that he knows that are dead want to meet them in a good place. So I think you even see it with older people, they get lonely after people they know start dying, and So I think it's probably that as well.
And
But
I
they
would
wouldn't say that in the anime. I don't think.
nah, no. He's not that old. He's only like 3,000 years old. Like
Brother's seen civilizations rise and fall.
He's seen Rome. I bet he thinks about Rome.
I think about Rome at least once a week. So
but
Foolishness.
speaking of speaking of all this, religious talk and stuff like that, here, we actually get more flashbacks. Frieren is kind of explaining to him that, that she had someone like that. Hyder, once praised her, and after she told him stories, and she's like, I think that's good enough for me. I don't have to have the. I think that's what she kind of hit on, that she didn't have to have the goddess to tell her that, because she had people that told her that in the past, right?
Yes. Yeah. Himmel's not Himmel, but
Heiter.
Heiter said, "Yeah, I'll praise you. Since tell me your story, and I'll give you some props on it," which I thought was really cool.
Just imagine Hyder like pat her on the head, like, "Good job, kid. You did great."
You corrupt priest.
She was constantly calling him on that shit, rightfully so, though.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
I'm not
that's
sure why they both offered this to her in the same manner. I don't know if that's part of their religion or something like that. I wonder.
It could be. It's kind of like when you have like devout religious people try and like convert you. They buttered you up first. So maybe that's what they're going for. I don't think Hyder would be, though. I don't think Hyder would. He respected Frieren a lot. So
for sure.
And we also don't know how close Frieren and Kraft got in that 6 months, because we didn't really see it.
Right.
It's also no Frieren, bro. Not kawaii no Frieren.
I only know German, bro.
That's like cute no Frieren.
Oh, okay, I see.
Frieren is cute. Frieren the cutie. I'm translating it right now. But yeah, the episode kind of ends with the monk and the heroes just partying it out. Kraft says he'll see Frieren again, maybe in a few centuries. Do y'all think they'll actually see each other again?
I don't think we'll see it. One thing I was kind of hoping that Kraft joined our merry gang of misfits here, because he talked a lot about like not wanting to go to heaven, but he talked about the people who who have left before him, and he feels forgotten. And I thought it would have been a really cool character arc for him to get to heaven, where you can meet the dead and actually meet these people and see that they do remember him and all that kind of stuff. I thought that would have been a really cool story arc, but we ain't getting that, I guess. So
unfortunate, but I wanted much of the same.
Well, did they actually split up? Does anybody remember if they actually split up at the end?
Yeah, one's going north, one's going south, basically.
Yep.
I was gonna say, if they left it in suspension, then we could get it, but I wasn't sure how it ended. I forgot.
Yeah, that was actually the last few moments of this episode was them parting ways, and he like casually says to Frieren, "I'm sure we'll meet again. I'll see you in a few centuries." Nuts.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I guess we get on to Roni Kenshin, right?